The following podcast is a veteran-run entertainment avenue. The stories and lessons you'll hear within this entertainment medium are recollections from actual veterans. Correspondingly, the humor held within is crass, rude, inappropriate, and not suitable for all audiences. Listener discretion is advised.
And give it a minute. There we go. Okay, so it should be recording now. Okay, cool. But Devin's favorite part is the river. he's like, well, you look good, man. You look shredded like a Caesar salad. Give me that fucking map.
That movie is so fucking quotable, dude.
He's like, come on, guys, we're a unit. Bullshit! You got us running out here like a bunch of fucking trail donkeys. Tell him, McCluskey. Tell him what time it is.
When he, like, after the director, like, steps on a landmine, it gets blown up. Robert Downey Jr.'s, like, impression of a black man sends me every time. Like, hey, motherfuckers, this cocksucker dead. No Chris Angel mind freak shit. DED dead. Cover me, you limp dick fuck-ups. I fucking love that movie.
Cover me, you limp dick fuckers.
The fucking my favorite part of that whole movie is Tom Cruise's breakdown.
Oh yeah,
where he's like, he does the whole like, take a step back and literally fuck your own face.
Give me 1 second. I'm running through the motions.
No, you all good? What is it? I'll suck your dick. I'll suck your dick if you let me go. Cradle the balls, stroke the shaft, swallow the gravy.
What is that, Jack Black?
Yes, Jack Black.
God, oh, man. That honestly was probably the only movie I think at the time could get away with that and do it right.
I think they did it right.
That's the thing, though, is like that was the reasons why it did so well is because they did do it right and they didn't do it ignorantly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it wasn't ignorance. It was like legit comedy, and they made sure to get the comedy portion down pat. Because if not, they were fucked. Like it was just gonna be bad.
I don't know what it's called. I just know the sound it makes when it takes a life. Okay, all right, cool, man. We're gonna put some Tiger Balm in this jungle's nutsack. I fucking love that movie.
Give me that fucking map.
Give me that fucking map.
It was the inflections on like the F's. So every time he did that, it's what sends me over. Because I can't tell you any man or any black man I know has never said fuck you without just over inflection, like over portraying that F.
Yeah.
It's like you're
fuck you.
You're holding the F like Draco Malfoy holds P and Potter.
Yeah.
Fuck you. Like get the. It's like a grenade launcher going off.
I want to watch Tropic Thunder now.
It's a good movie, man.
I don't know what kind of Pan-Pacific bullshit power play you're trying to pull here, but Asia Jack is my territory, so whatever you're thinking, you better think again, or I will rain down an ungodly fucking firestorm upon you. You're going to have to call the United Nations and get a fucking binding resolution to keep me from fucking destroying you.
Oh my God.
I will massacre you. I will fuck you up.
You know, the crazy thing was is that I had no idea that was fucking that was Tom Cruise.
I didn't know until after either.
I didn't know it was Tom Cruise until the third time I watched it. And
it had to be told to me.
Yeah.
And then I went back and watched it, and then I could tell.
Yeah, it was like, because I saw the face, and I was like, and I had just watched a Tom Cruise movie after or before. And I was like, wait a fucking minute. And then I Googled it, and it showed him in the suit and the
You could tell. You could tell once you know. We are Flaming Dragon. Listen, Flaming Dragon. Fuck face.
All right, we're almost there. I'm trying to make sure. Dooley,
Matthew McConaughey. You mean to tell me
Yeah.
They forgot about our TiVo clause.
Dog, I'm not gonna lie. Everyone in the movie, honestly, in my opinion, everyone in that movie, maybe except for Jack Black, in my opinion, did such a great job.
You don't think Jack Black did an amazing job? He did excellent.
He did great, like, don't get me wrong, but if he had did something other than the crackhead, I would have been perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, that's just Jack Black. Like, legit. Like, they gave him the role that was like, this is just you, just be you. And I like
Just be funny.
where like everybody else in the movie was doing something totally opposite of themselves. Like, you had Tom Cruise cussing like a fucking sailor, which never fucking happens, in my opinion. I've never seen Tom Cruise do a whole monologue where he was telling someone to go
Just
fuck
chewing
themselves.
someone out.
And then you got Matthew McConaughey, who's playing the limp dick, like, stupid ass fucking producer.
Spineless agent.
Yeah. And then, you know, of course, Robert Downey Jr. playing the black guy.
God,
The Australian white dude playing the black guy.
I'm a dude playing a dude
I'm a
disguised as
dude.
another dude.
I'm a dude playing a dude disguised as another dude.
Or when the other the actual black man says the N-word with an easy A, and Robert Downey Jr. brings him in, and he's like, "That word has held us down for 400 years."
Yeah.
And he's like, "What the fuck are you talking about, man? You ain't black."
When he goes into the full fucking monologue and all of his people start coming out.
That shit, I lose it every time.
I don't know who I am.
Word has held us down. He looks so serious for 400 years.
Hey,
Booty sweat, baby. Drink booty sweat.
hey, what do you mean, you people? What do you mean, you people? It's so good, man. All right, I think we are.
Lance, when he's talking about the person he likes to Robert Downey Jr., he's like, "Lance." He's like, "Lance. Did you say Lance?" "No, I said Nance. I said Nancy. I ain't gay."
Who was gay? Was it Jack Black?
No, it was the black lead actor.
Oh yeah, that's right. See, that's what I'm saying. They're all playing roles that are not themselves, and they did it great. And then here comes Jack Black just playing the straight out like cracked addict, and I'm like, that's literally just who Jack Black is. Even if he's not a crackhead, but yet homie acts like he's on drugs all the damn time.
Everybody loves Jack Black. I want to watch Traffic Thunder now. Survive.
Dog, honestly, that's one of the best one-liners in a movie I've seen in so long.
Ben Stiller's like running out like
What should we do?
Platoon.
Survive. All right, you ready?
I reckon so.
You're starting us off on this one.
All right. Let me take it.
Oh God.
Good Lord, child. Are you all right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you need medical assistance?
My demon showed up for a second.
Yeah?
Give me a moment. All right, I'm ready to go. You limp dick fuckers, cover me.
Cover me, you lip dick fuckers. I could do a lot of the quotes in that movie pretty well because I've seen it so many times.
It honestly, when he does it, it's like it sounds like the portrayal of those overly exaggerated like British people. Cover me, you lip dick fuckers.
We're gonna have to put some of this in.
It's recording. I did it on purpose. It's gonna be in there.
Cool. Hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome back to Emotional Support Veterans. Caleb and I are going to be locking ourselves into a hot car for 9 hours to prove that babies and small mammals are complete bitches. Welcome. I know it's been a little bit since we published a new episode, but we've had a lot going on. We good?
Yeah. Sorry.
You're
Sorry.
fiddling with the thing.
It's my job to fiddle with the thing.
Oh,
I'll fiddle with your thing.
I am a God-fearing Christian man.
As long as I've known you, I've never heard you ever say anything about religion.
You're like the siren I couldn't fight. This time I was trapped and waiting to die. All my life I've been addicted to the wrong side. Every road I took I despise. I won't lie, there's no exception here at this time. The heavens don't remember you. I think it's time to go. Don't pretend that you're my angel. Oh, you drag me straight to hell. You fly on broken wings when all of my dreams. Oh, you drag me straight to hell. Those scars have taken over.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Emotional Support Veterans. My name is Caleb, and I'm here with my co-host Jamie. And this is the podcast where we bring you military advice, tell you stories, have fun, a little bit of comedy, a little bit of this and that. And yeah, we apologize for not having uploaded anything in the past recent weeks. Some unfortunate happenstances have happened, and we took the time to deal with them. So we hope you guys were patient with us, and thank you for coming back if you did. Yeah, man, it was a couple hard weeks.
Yeah.
Couple hard weeks, but we made it through it as we always do. And we just hope that things can calm the fuck down just for a little while, please, and thank you.
Yeah. So just to jump into it, just quick, fast, and in a hurry, I read online that 9 out of every 10 cases of divorce, the child blames themselves, right?
Yeah.
And personally, I think that's correct. And I know that your parents divorced.
Yeah.
And often it is one of the children caused it. And what I want to know is, why was it you? What did you do to make your parents divorce? Because I know it wasn't Devin. I know it wasn't Bucky. Your entire existence is already a problem. So
I
what
was
did you do?
born the problem child. I've always been the problem child. I don't know. It was probably maybe like the third time.
You still have headphones on, by the way.
I know. I kept them on just so I can monitor it this time, because of like the last time we tried to record, the audio sounded so shit. So I want to make sure that we're all good. Yeah. So apologize for the new look, but we're trying to make sure that the quality is.
See the flavor saver on this guy?
Oh yeah. This was why my parents divorced. My mom wanted to shave it off. My dad was like, let him be a
You
man.
need it to become a full-blooded super trooper.
I do it so I can become blooded, because I'm the only one in my family that can grow a full face of facial hair.
Are you really?
Actually, yes. Other than my dad, like,
It grows so thick on you and so fast.
yeah.
I would assume all the guys in your family could do that.
Nah.
Interesting.
Devin can't grow a full beard. Bucky can't grow a full beard. My dad, I think, is the only one that can actually grow a full beard, and me.
I can grow this. Pretty
Yeah,
good. The
you
rest
look
is patchy.
you look a little like Shakespearean, in my opinion, with your hair slicked back and all that shit. Dost thou wear thy mother's drapes?
What's that from?
That's from Avengers.
That's from Avengers. It's not even Shakespearean.
I mean, he made fun of him in Shakespearean.
Tell me, sweet Juliet, what does thine pussy do? Speaking of
Pussy?
family, no, you know where your mind's at. Nasty. Sex is a sin. So today's episode is called Brothers.
Ooh.
Yeah. And Caleb and I both grew up with quite a few brothers. And I was thinking one day, I was talking to my older brother about how much we loathed one another when we were kids and some of the stupid stories and how we beat the shit out of each other. Like, I told Michaela stories about how my brothers and I treated each other growing up.
Dude.
And she just looks at me like a deer caught in the headlights.
You want to know stories. My brothers and I
What
tried
was
to...
your... I'll go second. I want to know what your relationship with your brothers was like. Were you the oldest? No, Bucky was the oldest.
Bucky is the oldest.
You're the second one. You're the middle one.
I'm the middle child.
I'm the middle one, too.
Nice. But Pretty much growing up, we tried killing each other multiple
Hell
times.
yeah.
Like legit
The
trying
American
to like
way.
we were at the point in our lives where we were growing up, and also it's like because we didn't have a dad in the house.
Yeah.
Like we saw our dad. Don't get me wrong. Like my dad's a great guy, great guy. I've said that before, but
Very nice guy.
you
I met
know,
him once and I liked him.
living in a single parent home, you kind of have to grow up a little bit,
Right.
but you're trying to grow up with two other dudes who are also trying to grow up.
Yeah.
And so butting heads was not the word I would, or the term I would use. It was like battering rams going against each other. Like
Just constant.
we were legitimately for, I want to say between the time I was 10 till I was probably 14, we were actively trying to just kill each other.
Jeez. What kind of shit would you guys fight over?
Just stupid shit. Just stupid shit. Devin had a temper growing up, you know, like outward temper. Now his temper is very much controlled, but Devin, being the youngest, had a temper. And me being the middle child, I would want to fuck with everybody.
Naturally.
And then Bucky had to be the man of the house because he was the oldest. So Bucky's barking orders. Devin's like, no, fuck you. And I'm like, yeah. I'm over in the corner just watching it happen. There's a story I've never told you guys before. The only people that actually know it is my family. But it was when we were in this small apartment, and my mom, it was a weekend. Normally how the weekends went for us is that Saturday morning was cleaning. Like we got up early in the morning to clean the house, and then after that, everything else was whatever, you know? So Bucky had to clean the kitchen, and knowing Bucky back then was very like meticulous. So if he cleaned something and you went right behind him and you fucked it up, oh, he was mad. So Bucky cleaned the entire kitchen like spotless. He had it spotless. And then Devin came in and like used a couple of dishes and just threw them in the sink. And that in itself started a fucking argument to the point to where they got so into each other's face. Now, Bucky, I think at the time was like a senior. No, he was a junior. He was either a junior or a senior in high school. No, junior in high school. Sorry. Devin was in middle school.
But he's still built like a tank, right?
No, Devin was in elementary school. Yeah, we were
Damn,
still.
what?
No. I don't know, man.
You're getting it all twisted.
The years run by. Devin was like in his early years of middle school. I was in my end of the year in middle school. Yeah, and Devin has always been big. He's always been a big dude.
I would hate to grapple with him.
But he
Probably
is
snap
like
me in half.
dude is dummy strong for no fucking reason. Like we all are. Out of all my brothers, and that's not something just like bragging about. We are just dummy strong when we want to be. Especially Bucky. I will not fight Bucky.
Is Bucky the tallest?
No, I'm the tallest.
You're the tallest.
But Bucky is like, the thing about Bucky that a lot of people don't know is that technically he is my half brother. We don't go by that because we've been family ever since I was born. But Bucky is black and Samoan.
I didn't know that.
His mom is Pacific Islander, and Bucky has that ridiculous like Islander strength, like put you in a wall and you ain't moving kind of shit. Like
Damn.
he will rip you apart if he really wanted to.
Are you the weakest of your brothers?
Why you gotta know?
I'm just curious.
If you want my honesty, I think when it matters, I think we're all on the same scale. Like if you get us pissed off enough, we wreck shit. We just choose really not to be angry because we grew up angry. It's pretty much how I would say. That sounds like a bitch thing to say, but it really is. Like when you know you've been in situations and you've broken something before, you don't want to do it again.
What, like broken property or broken each other?
Broken each other.
Okay.
Or broken someone. Like I would probably say in some point in each of our lives, Devin, Bucky, and I have probably hurt someone really, really bad. And for us, the way we were raised, we kind of hate doing that, but we will if we have to.
Right.
But anyways, I would probably say we're all equal. Devin has more weight on me. That's the thing. Devin has more leverage than I do because I'm smaller. I'm probably the smallest out of my brothers.
Damn, and you're big.
Yeah. So,
Damn.
but Devin's also the football player, and he's built like a brick shit
You're the
house.
smallest out of the three of you?
I am the smallest out of the 3 of my brothers.
Okay, no. I was going to say, so am I, but
Like-
I'm the middle as well.
Like Bucky and I are probably close to each other, but I am the smallest.
Damn. And y'all are all huge.
It's dumb. But that's the thing is like
You're,
it's
you're 6'2"?
I'm 6'2".
Damn.
And I'm the tallest, but I'm the smallest. But anyways,
They were getting in each other's faces.
they were getting into each other's faces and they were getting into an argument. And then the next thing I know, and you remember how Devin's always been big. That's the point we're making here.
Right.
This is where I realized I will never, ever fuck with Bucky. Because Bucky knocked him over and then had him upside down.
What the fuck?
Upside down, hands on each ankle, and had this motherfucker hold. I shit you
He
not.
did that to Devin.
He did it to Devin. I shit you not. He picked him off the floor by his ankles and had him
hell?
holding it there. And when I had to go next door to our neighbors because that's where my mom was because like our family friends live right next door. I had to
Right.
go get her, and she came in and she saw him. He was about to drop him on his neck, just like literally holding him in the air.
What were y'all parents feeding y'all?
Duh, it's just genes.
Y'all built fucking different, I guess.
Well, you've seen my dad.
Yeah, your dad looks like he could stop a train.
Well, so my dad, before he lost his kidneys, was like a bodybuilder. He was a power lifter.
I've met him
Yeah.
once. I can see it.
You can see it, yeah. And even then, like even now, he still runs
Got
on
that dad
dialysis.
strength now.
Bro, he is. I don't like using the word. My dad is fucking strong, and it's retarded strong. Like it's like when we were growing up, my dad pretty much laid the rules. Like we never really tested our father, right?
Really?
We never really. I think the only person that went head
That
to
was gonna
head.
be my next question. Y'all ever throw hands?
Bucky is the only one that threw hands with my dad, like ever.
Well,
And
actually, I want to hear more about that. We'll get back
Yeah.
to that. What else happened with Bucky and Devin?
well, my mom stopped that because Bucky was
Okay.
going to kill him. Bucky was going to drop him straight on his
That's
fucking
so
neck.
scary
Like
to
when
me.
I say he had him off the ground, he had him at least like 1.5 feet off the ground. And Devin's always been a big dude, so
He's
that's
massive.
yeah. And Bucky was a cheerleader, but he was like, there's a reason why he was always the thrower. And it didn't click in my mind until I saw that happen. And I was like, yeah.
I'm not fucking with this dude.
Yeah, no. I will not say I never fucked with Bucky, but I never fucked with Bucky like so much to where he wanted to kill me.
Right.
Now, he did choke me out one day. He choked me the fuck out and like actually knocked me out because I was being a little pissant. I'll say that. When I was growing up, I was a pissant of the brother. I was the middle child, so I fucked with both ends of the spectrums, and man, did I get the shit like
Same.
mostly knocked out of me.
Same.
There was one day we were cleaning our room and it was a mess. Like we were just going through all of our clothes, folding them and shit. And we were messing around and I had this sock that I put another sock in. And I just kept hitting them with it because we were just fucking around. And Bucky was like, stop hitting me with that fucking sock. And I was like, what you gonna do? And I hit him. Next thing I know, this is
Rookie
the other thing.
mistake.
This is the other thing too. Like he's quick. If Bucky gets his hands on you, you're not getting out. Like
Damn.
it's
He's got that
scary.
death grip.
Listen, if people tell you not to fuck with Islanders, don't fucking do it. Even if they're not people who are like local to the islands. If they are directly descendant of any Islander family, don't fuck with them. Because Bucky's got literally, and it's not like a stupid joke. Bucky has that Samoan strength, and people know what I mean by saying that. Because Islanders are just dumb strong. They're big, they're smart, and they are strong, right?
My buddy Alex is
Yes, any
he's
Islander,
got that Islander in him. He's
Filipino,
crazy strong.
Samoan, Hawaiian, doesn't fucking Maori doesn't fucking matter. Like I will, if there are people on this earth that I will not fuck with, it is Islanders. They will rip you apart and then smile at your family the next day. But I made the mistake and I poked the bear, and boy, he moved so quick. He took a tube sock.
Oh my god.
Boy, choked
put a
me
lock in it and
boy,
just
choked
wham.
me the fuck out.
He choked you out with a tube sock?
Listen, he knocked me out so fast.
He embarrassed your ass.
Listen, he knocked me out so fast that when I woke up, they thought I was joking. They thought
Oh.
I was joking. I
They thought
legitimately,
you were pulling a bit.
yeah, I legitimately blacked the fuck out. And I remember waking up. I was like, yo, what the fuck happened? And they're like, man, stop playing. I was like, Bucky, I'm not kidding. You choked me the fuck out.
Feels like you took a really good nap.
It was like a long blink. And I woke up facing the floor. And I was like, the fuck? And like Bucky, that was the other thing is like Bucky, we were so young that we didn't know how strong we were. And Bucky was like the epitome of that. Bucky had no idea how strong he was. So when he choked me out and I blacked the fuck out, he thought I was joking.
Damn.
He choked me out so fast, like legit in one motion. It was tube sock, cinch, I was gone.
I was not anywhere near that strong as a kid.
Bro, and
Holy
then
shit.
and then Devin and I, man, you want to talk about going to blows. Devin and I were the only two that would legit just like
Fist fight.
We would just fucking fist fight all the damn time. And it would always get to the point to where I would have to sit on top of him to get him to stop because like I said, Devin has a temper. Him being an adult now makes it so much scarier because Devin doesn't resort to getting mad at first. He gets very quiet. And that's when I know, like, I'm gonna get out the way because someone's
look
about
out for that smolder.
Yeah, when he stops talking to you, because Devin will try and get you to calm down, and then when he stops talking, because you just don't want to listen and you want to be stupid and you want to be ignorant and just like straight up disrespectful. When Devin stops talking, that's when I get out of the way because homie's about to die. Like, dude is gonna get put in the ground
So y'all tried to murder each other as kids.
multiple fucking times.
What do you like now?
We are probably the closest we could ever be.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I want to say it was around like high school. When I got into high school is when we all kind of calmed down cuz after Bucky graduated, Bucky moved out and went to go live with my dad. And so it was my turn to be the man of the house. And
I remember you telling me about this.
yeah, and then Devin and I would still fight, but it was like there was a moment in time I don't remember really when. I think it was around my sophomore year where him and I just kind of like became friends.
Yeah.
Because my sophomore year was probably around the time where my mom started letting me like hang out with friends and spending the night and stuff. And I would bring Devin along. And once that started happening, him and I just got like really, really close.
Yeah.
But now, like all my siblings, me, Devin, Bucky, Nevaeh, we're all super close.
Yeah.
Like we would probably go to war with for each other.
My I was the middle child as well. My older brother was Cameron. You've met Cameron.
Yeah.
My younger brother was Griffin. And again, I was the middle child, and we fucking hated each other. We hated each other's existence.
Can I be honest about something?
Hmm.
I've been your friend for so long, had no idea you had any other siblings other than Cameron. You never told me.
I have 9.
You never told me that.
Yeah.
Because
I have
like
a lot.
when everything happened the past couple of weeks, like the first thing that popped in my mind was like, oh shit, I didn't know he had a sister.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm sorry about that. I just never.
I mean,
I never knew.
It's not terribly deep, but yeah, I don't talk about it a whole hell of a lot. But we all three of us hated each other. But
Yeah.
more often than not, it was the younger and the older against me.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was born with a cleft fucking lip. I was already timid as hell. Like this scar, it looked much worse than this before I had corrective surgery done when I was like 11 or 12.
Mhm.
Like I did not make friends easy. I was easy to pick on. I'd never defended myself, and like they would gang up on me, but I would always get mine eventually.
Yeah.
We were absolutely awful to each other. Like I remember, being the two youngest siblings, my little brother and I, we always wanted Cameron's affection,
Mm-hmm.
being the older brother. And my older brother and my cousin, God, they said, hey, both of you follow me. And we went in between the two vans that we had parked out front that belonged to my mother and her husband. And they said, hey, here's 50 cents. The two of you beat the shit out of each other. Whoever wins gets this 50 cents. And, like, we're two, like, skinny 6-year-old white boys. And we take our shirts off and we're like, come on, let's go. Dog, I am so surprised neither of us got sent to the hospital. We were throwing each other's faces into the windows. We broke one of the side mirrors by smashing each other's face into it.
Oh my
We were
god.
headbutting each other. There was blood everywhere. We were like beating the crap out of each other for 50 fucking cents. And my mother's husband like came out to the front yard, saw what was going on, and stopped it. But that gives you kind of an idea as to how much we just beat the shit out of each other.
Now, here's my question. Did you ever have moments where although like you like you beat the shit out of each other growing up, but did they ever beat the shit out of somebody for you?
I didn't learn until after
Mm-hmm.
that something like that had happened. We moved around a lot before we came to this part of South Carolina,
Yeah.
and I was really into Yu-Gi-Oh at the time. And my older brother, he was the classic like you're a fucking loser. You're my little brother. Don't talk to me. Don't look at me. I'm embarrassed that you're my
Yeah.
brother. The typical
The
like,
typical
teenage.
angsty teen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he went to school and he knew I was really into Yu-Gi-Oh! And he found this guy selling counterfeit Egyptian god cards.
Mm.
He had Slifer the Sky Dragon and the Winged Dragon are raw. They were fake.
Yeah.
And so he got them, he put them in his pocket, and someone saw. And the dude went up to Cameron, and Cameron didn't tell me this until after. He was like, give me those cards or I'm going to beat your ass. And Cameron was like, all right, take them from me. And like they got in each other's faces. And this is kind of how Cameron told it to me, is that he just pushed him away and said, I'm waiting on you to do something. And the guy backed down.
Yeah.
And me being the little shithead of a brother that I was, Cameron brought those cards back to me. And the first thing I said was, Slide for the Sky Dragon, Winged Dragon Raw. Where's Obelisk the Tormentor? He didn't tell me that until much later. He's like, yeah, I got those cards for you. Because it was like here, shut up and leave me alone. After he gave me the cards, he was like,
He's being a nice older brother. In his
he didn't want me to stick around and be like, thank you.
Yeah.
Like, he's like, all right, now go fuck off and die. And, fuck, where was I going with that? I lost my train of thought. But yeah, he didn't tell me that until much later, probably like a couple years later.
Yeah.
But we were so absolutely ridiculous as kids. There was this one time where all three of us were getting ready for school. God, this story is so dumb. One of us had broken a vase. I think it was Cameron and Griffin were goofing around, and like something had fallen over and busted. And we were all trying to figure out what to do. I started crying. And I was like, I don't want to get in trouble. Like, if Mom finds this, she's gonna spank all of us.
Mm-hmm.
And Cameron's like, you need to calm down. We're gonna fix this. Then Griffin's like standing there, like with his arms crossed, like just nodding. And Cameron's like, we'll just sweep it up with a dustpan, throw it in a trash can. Griffin's like, well, what if they look in the trash can? They're gonna find the evidence. We need to be smart about this. We need to take it out back and throw it in the big trash can. And I'm like, guys, maybe we should just tell the truth. And Griffin looks at me like, this motherfucker. And he goes into one of the bedrooms, pulls out a belt, like folds it in half and just slaps me across the back of the legs with it.
Oh,
and I
fuck,
start
dude.
screaming. Bloody murder. I'm crying. And he grabs me by the shoulders. He's like, listen, man, you thought that was bad. Imagine what's going to happen if Mom bites this. Think, man, think.
He gave you an example just to bring you back to reality.
And like he's like shaking me, and he's like, just think, use your fucking head.
What
We
the-
can't go down for this.
Oh my god.
And I'm just like crying. I'm like, okay, I'll do it. Like we had just killed someone.
Oh my god.
We were fucking
Oh my-
brutal to each other.
So here's the thing about my brothers and I. We grew up beating the living shit out of each other. Homie, though, when we were kind of like a gang. If all of us were in the same school, it was a problem. Because if one of us was getting fucked with, the dude who was fucking with us, was fucking with one of us, was about to get beat.
Yeah, learning was about to occur.
Yeah, and it was gonna be all three of us beating him. Like, so funny story. In elementary school, so little backstory. I told you I used to live in a small town called Jonesville, South Carolina, right?
I don't know if you told me that or not.
Yeah.
Regardless,
Well,
continue.
we moved around a lot too, and at some point in my life, we were living down in Jonesville, South Carolina. Now, I
Okay.
don't know if you know anything about Jonesville, South Carolina, and for any of my friends who probably listen to this, who are from Jonesville, this doesn't pertain to you because you guys were great. Jonesville, South Carolina, as a young, very young, like half black kid, not the greatest.
No,
Not
the
the
vibe.
greatest.
My voice just cracked there.
Not the vibe. Not not at all.
What happened? Why was it bad? Predominantly white, rich
It
white.
was a lot of racism.
Hmm.
When kids or when people found out that like we were mixed, bruh.
Did you feel like you were in the Twilight Zone?
Dog. It wasn't the fact that it was like the Twilight Zone. Jonesville, South Carolina was probably like my first time as a child experiencing racism face
Really?
to face, and it was not a good time. It was like almost every single fucking day, right?
Damn.
So Bucky and I, it's the end of the school day. This is elementary school, so we're all in Jonesville Elementary. We're young.
Right.
No, not Jonesville Elementary. So sorry, this was when I think this is around the time Bucky was in middle school. Yeah, Bucky was in middle school, but the schools were like right next to each other.
Right.
Elementary school and middle school
Kind
kind
of
of
like
went to the
ours
same. Yeah.
was.
So we would all group up underneath the awning for the buses and cars picking us up and yada
Wow.
yada
Okay.
yada.
So y'all were that close.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there's this group of kids, man. These group of dudes, because they would see Bucky standing next to us, and if you know Bucky, Bucky's our darker complexion than us, but we're his brothers. So it was one of those is like, why are you black, and why are these two looking like a different shade of black? You know, kind of one of those things, like just being fucking ignorant.
Because you owed them an explanation.
Exactly.
Fucking
And
bullshit.
so there was one day, and this is the funny part. Now, I told you Bucky beats ass. I can beat ass if I want to. Devin can beat ass if he wants to, right?
Right.
We're children. And Bucky and I are being surrounded by this group of dudes. Like, him and I are legitimately, like, back to back being, like, just fucking...
Army of Two style.
Just, we were about, like, we dropped backpacks, and we were about to, like, go to blows with these kids. And Devin, being the youngest, comes out, sees the biggest, like he's not in the circle. Devin's outside the circle, but
Y'all
he sees
y'all
me.
are getting like circled by a pack of hyenas,
Yes.
and Devin sees it from the outside.
Devin sees us from the outside, and all I see is this chunky little dude drop his fucking Spider-Man or whatever backpack,
Hell yeah.
and he goes, "Stop messing with my brother." Picks the biggest fucking kid and kicks him right in the fucking nuts as
Love to see it.
hard as he fucking can.
Fuck yeah.
And then it is on.
Royal Rumble 2006.
Devin gets put into the bushes. Bucky sees it. Bucky puts one in a headlock, and I tackle another kid into the bushes, and then a teacher comes out.
Ride or die.
It was me and them against this whole pack of hyenas, and it was probably the best memory I have as a child. Because they called my parents, and they told them what had happened. And my dad was like, "Yeah, I don't see the problem here." Because my dad's black.
Yeah.
He was like, "I don't see the problem here. They were defending themselves." Because my dad told us when we were young, you know, my dad... Just putting my dad in perspective, my dad is a great man. I just want that to be known. He's not a deadbeat. He's nothing, but he has a set of rules.
Right.
Like the thing with my family is we hold family above all else, no matter what. We have my family has a code of honor, I guess. And it's, you know, we try to be the best people that we can and respect others no matter what. But if someone is wanting to beat your ass, you better end it. Because my dad looked at us. He was like, if I find out that you all are starting fights and there's no reason behind it, I'm kicking your asses.
Was it the fight if you need to, but you better not have been the one to throw the first punch?
he was like,
My dad was like, never throw the first punch.
Yeah,
but
he
if a
was
fight
like-
starts,
he was like, if you're defending, he's like, I don't care if you defend yourselves, but if I find out you're starting fights, you're gonna fight me at home. Like, he was legit, and he put it on the table. He's like, if any of you think you want to be the man of the house, you're gonna have to take me on out in the front yard.
My dad said the same.
And
frickin' thing.
he wasn't kidding. My dad's from New Jersey.
Yeah.
All right,
nah,
and he
I'm
grew
good.
up in the
I'm
hood
good.
of New Jersey. If you want to talk about siblings and being rowdy, my dad, my Uncle Tracy, and my Aunt Erin were the troublemakers in high school. My Aunt Erin locked a dude in the classroom with just him and her because he decided to put his hands on her ass when they were in like high school.
Yeah.
She waited for everyone to leave, and she locked this dude in the classroom and proceeded to whoop his ass.
Damn.
Threw him around the classroom.
Metal.
Yeah. So you see where we get it from.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was a lot of times where like we stood up for each other, and there were a lot of times where it was about someone was about to get jumped by the Woodson brothers. Like, it was about to happen. Like, so Bucky is gay, right?
Right.
We grew up with him. He didn't tell us until we were in like elementary school and middle school. But we're his brothers. We knew there was something. We just didn't know what.
Right.
If that makes any sense. Like, we knew he was a little bit more flamboyant. We knew there was a difference about him. And I don't want that to sound bad, but we knew Bucky was gay before he told us he was gay. And
Right.
we didn't fucking care.
Why would you?
Yeah, we wouldn't. We still don't. Like, we love each other to death. But the other kids in school picked up on it, and you know how they can be. And this is when Bucky's in high school, starting off in high
Bucky
school.
ain't small though. That's a
Bucky's never been
risky-
small. That's what I'm saying. Bucky's never been small. He's black and he's Samoan. And if that should put you in any picture on how big my brother is, like, there's this one kid. I remember it like it was yesterday. There's just this one kid on the bus every time, because elementary, middle, and high school all rode on the same bus together, right?
Right.
So we would go pick them up, and there's just this one dude, and he wasn't white. He was just this other tall, lanky black kid just messing with Bucky, like yelling at him, like, "Don't drop the soap, homie. You better watch out. Don't bend over in front of him," and yada yada yada, making these stupid ass gay jokes, just being stupid, fucking ignorant, right? This has gone on for like a month, and the bus driver was trying to like was trying to stop it without it becoming a conflict. If there's one thing about Bucky can take a lot of shit. But when he breaks, he blacks the fuck out.
That's not
He
good.
blacks the fuck out. And there's just this one day, this dude thought because Bucky was gay, that Bucky wasn't going to defend himself. So homie touched him. Legit. Like, put his hands on Bucky. I don't think he hit him, but he touched him.
That's
Just
enough.
and that was enough for Bucky. I was young, so I had to sit in the front of the bus, but I had to listen to it. And if there's one thing for me that I will not do, is I will not stand by and listen to, especially if it's my sibling being disrespected. Like I said, that code of honor. Like, we stand for each other no matter what. It doesn't matter. And hearing that constantly, it was pissing me off. Because one, I didn't know what the problem was. And then two, this dude was just focusing on Bucky. I'm like, you can like lay the fuck off, dude. So he puts his hands on Bucky, and Bucky jumps over the fucking seat and is on top of this guy on the bus, in the back, in the seat, throwing haymakers.
Damn.
Homie had him pinned into the seat, tossing elbows and haymakers on this motherfucker. And then I jumped up.
That
And
looks fun.
Well, and that's when, because like for me, I was like, Bucky's fighting. That means I'm fighting. Like I was about to jump in and like take whoever else was about to come at Bucky, but no one was fucking with Bucky while he was fucking this dude up. No one, because it shocked everybody. And that was when I stood up to run to the back. That was when the bus driver stopped it, because she was like, because she stopped it. She grabbed me by the collar and threw me back in the seat, and she went back there and she grabbed Bucky, and she didn't do anything to Bucky.
This was on the bus.
This was on the bus. Now,
Yeah.
this bus driver was dope, right? She was an older lady, but she was hood, and she grabbed Bucky and she grabbed him and like put him in the seat, and like told everybody to fucking quit, like stop, like she split it up, and she grabbed Bucky and she looked and she brought him to the front and she looked him over, like she was checking him for like bruises and cuts. She didn't give a fuck that he just beat this dude's ass. Because he was asking for it.
Learning occurred that day.
Oh, yeah.
We had my bus story is completely different from that. I was in elementary school. My brother was in like middle, or he had just started high school. And you know how the buses stop at the elementary school and then they go to like the high school, then to the middle school?
Yeah.
Well, we were on the bus and it had gotten to the elementary school. I was in like 5th grade. And I feel like a tap on my shoulder, and I turn around, and then it's just like toddler. He's like 1st or 2nd grade, and I'm like, I look down at him, and I'm like, "What's up?" And the dude just hits me in the teeth.
Oh, no.
He like cracks me in the teeth, and I'm like stunned, and I'm like looking at him, and I look at the back of the bus, and I see my brother like pointing and laughing, and it immediately had been like, I immediately pieced it together that he told him to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And so like, I'm sitting there like looking at this kid like, why did you do that? And he hits me again.
Yeah.
And the second time, like my tooth had dug into my lip, and like it started to hurt. But then my brain wouldn't let me fight back, so it was like, this is like a 1st or 2nd grader.
Yeah.
And so like, I tried to talk, and every time this kid just kept hitting me in the face and laughing.
I'm sorry. For me, if you're younger than me, like in situations like that, you probably only get one. Because
I didn't know what to do.
Yeah, because if you start going on a second time, you're about to learn a terrible lesson, and that's stop listening to stupid people, because you're about to get a very bad result on what happens when you fuck with other people just because someone told you to do so.
Well, I mean, yeah, I was like, he probably hit me like 5 or 6 times. Like the inside of my mouth was bleeding. I was like, I feel like I can't fight this kid because he's younger than me and he's not listening to me talk. And my brother is in the back of the bus laughing hysterically. And so I just turned around, cried, and got off the bus.
Oh,
I didn't defend myself when I was a kid.
That
is completely different from your story.
Well, no, because like I rarely got into fights. I want to say there's probably been one time in my younger adult years where I got into one fight that no one knows about except for certain teachers.
Yeah.
And that was because it happened at a time where there was really like no students around. It was when we were in Edwards. I was in middle school. And I'm not going to say his name because I believe he's still a teacher, but I love this teacher. He was a great teacher, and he let me finish work ahead of time. If we have extra time in class, he would let us work on homework. Well, I would sit in like towards the back of the class, and I would like see what the lesson was, and so I would just like secretly be doing homework so I didn't have to do it at home. And he knew I was doing it. As long as I paid attention, he didn't give a fuck. So
as long as you're doing the right thing, we ball.
Yeah. At this point, I'm still a very avid reader. So I would finish my homework before the time would be to, like, he'd give us to actually like really focus on working.
I think I know exactly what teacher you're talking about.
Starts with a C.
No.
Okay. Yeah, different teacher. But
Very well.
If I had finished all my work pretty much early, he would let me go sit in the hallway and read my book. Well, I don't know how it was that these 3 kids were in the hallway, but I guess they all went to the bathroom together. And you know the typical that I'm about to tell you. Carhartt, skinny motherfuckers, but
Yeah, the country boys.
the country rowdy folk. And I'm sitting there reading my book, and this one kid just had
If
this.
one of them messes with you, they all mess with you.
Yeah. And one of them, I was his favorite target because I wouldn't say anything. Because for me, it's like, I would rather talk you down rather than get into a fight with you because I know for a fact my anger doesn't matter if I win or lose. I am one of those, like, I don't care about winning. I don't give two shits about winning. If you want to fight me, I'm going to hurt you. That's how I fight. It's got nothing to do with whether I get my ass whooped or if I win the fight. You're not going to feel the same way you went into that fight when I'm done with you.
Yeah, like it's like the reminder that, like, hey, I'm gonna fight back. Like,
Yeah.
you better. Next time, I'm gonna fight back too.
Yeah, you might win this fight, but something's gonna break and you're not gonna like it. That's how I fight. I fight to inflict pain because pain stops a fight. So I'm sitting in the hallway and I'm reading my book, and this kid, I was his favorite target, and he saw me in the hallway, and instead of going back to class, he decided to come over with his boys. He's like, "What you reading?" And I'm like, "Oh, it's, this book, just being kosher,
Trying to be cordial.
being copacetic." And he's like, "Well, that's a gay ass book." And I'm like, "Cool, yeah, whatever." Ignoring him.
You're right.
Because 9 times out of 10 in middle school, if you ignore them, they just walk off. This kid was not like that. And so he takes my book. And I was like, I stood up and I had my back against the wall. And I was like, "You're going to give me my book back." He's like, "What you going to do? You going to go get the teacher? You're going to get the teacher?" And the other two are like pushing me, like keeping me against the wall. And if there's anything you should probably know is that if you're in any kind of fight, don't fight the motherfucker that literally has his back to the wall. Like, it's probably a bad position to put yourself into.
Yeah, probably.
And I'm like, I don't want to do this. Just give me my book and just go back to class. And he's like, and this is when him being the leader of the group was gonna like make an example. And he's like, "How about you take it back from me?" And he called me the F word. I'm not gonna say it on the podcast, but you know what I'm talking about.
The
slur for homosexuality. Yeah. And I was like, "I'm telling you one more time. Just give me my book back." And that's when he grabbed my shirt and pushed me against the wall. And that's when like everything kind of like blacked out. But I remember grabbing him and taking the back of his head and throwing his face into the wall. And then I grabbed my book and I kind of like, it wasn't like I backhanded him because this was a hardcover. This was a thick ass hardcover.
None of this baby back.
But I threw
paperback bullshit.
I threw his head into the wall and I took the book and I kind of like put it against it and just fucking flat out elbowed it into his face. So his head got sandwiched between my elbow and the book and the wall.
God, dang, you're lucky you didn't hurt the kid.
I thought I killed him because he dropped. And that's when the teacher came out because he heard the bang against the wall. Because the way the room was set up was there was the door.
These
wall.
weren't the cement walls.
These were the cement walls.
God, you're lucky you didn't hurt that kid.
I thought I killed him, legit, because he dropped hard. And that's when they came out, and the kid woke up as he was coming out of the room. And he's like, "What's going on out here?" I was like, "They wouldn't give me back my book. I told him to give it back." And the kid's on the ground. He's like, "You all right?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm okay." And he's like, "Cool, go back to class." And he brought me back inside, and he was like, "Did you hurt him?" Because he knew I was getting picked on. I was like, he's like, "Did you hurt him?" I was
What
like,
grade was this?
This was like seventh grade.
Oh, okay.
He's like, "Did you hurt him?" I'm like,
I was gonna say you were big in high school. I don't think anyone would have messed with you like that in high school.
No, I stopped getting messed with in high school.
I was gonna say you were giant.
But
You're still giant.
dude was like, or the teacher was like, "Did you hurt him?" I was like, "I think so." I was like, "I'm sorry." Like, I felt bad
Yeah.
because I don't like fighting. And he was like, "You think you hurt him really bad to where he's gonna need like help?" I'm like, think so. After just like legitimately
After just like
elbowing the fuck out of his
pile
mind.
driving
Yeah.
his skull into a wall.
But he's like, okay. You know, he's like, if he walks back to class, he's like, then I'm not gonna say anything about it. But he's like, if he goes to the nurse, then I'm gonna have to report it. I'm like, that's fine by me, sir.
It is
And
what it is.
I went and sat back down. He was a dope ass teacher.
Yeah.
Because he knew all the kids that were like bullied in high school. Like he was one of those teachers that like kept an eye out on people. And yeah, that was probably like my first real fight. Because like for me, I'm not one for theatrics. I don't like dragging shit out. Like I said, my job is I'm going to inflict pain. Because if I can hurt you bad enough, it means you're gonna want to stop. Because I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
And that was my pain. Throwing his head into concrete and pile driving it and hoping he would either knock out or just fucking quit. Because that shit hurts.
Yeah. Of the fights that I got into in like middle school and high school, they never really lasted very long at all. Probably less than 15 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
But oh man, I was on this recon range with my mortar boys, and you remember me talking about them.
Oh yeah, the Rowdy Mortars.
Yep.
Rowdy boys.
Love those guys. When I first went to them, you know, it's a pogue with a bunch of grunts. Like, there's this aura in the air that you have to prove yourself, right?
Yeah.
And it was a little bit too early to actually start the firing session where we start clearing rooms in the Mount Town and whatnot. And they created a circle and they started having kids grapple. And I guess you could technically call him my squad leader. He was like, let's make the nerds fight. And I'm not going to say his name, but
Oh, I remember you telling me this story. Yeah.
you think so?
Yeah, because when you said let's let the nerds fight, I remember you
Yeah,
telling me the story. Yeah.
And
going.
I was a corporal, and the person I was supposed to fight in question was a lance corporal. And I kind of already felt like, okay, if they're making me fight someone who's not in my peer group, they don't see me as in their peer group.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I'm not really on board with this, but I mean, what am I going to do? Say no?
Mm-hmm.
And so I watched my squad leader take this kid to the side, and he says something like, show this fucking pogue how grunts do business. And that made me mad.
Yeah.
So it was like, all right, you already think I'm a bitch because I don't have a 3 in my MOS.
Mm-hmm.
So fuck it. I'm going to put on a show. And so we get there, like, we're on our knees, like, we're getting ready to, like, grapple. And I'm like, man, these guys already think I'm a bitch. Why not play into it? And so the instructor is like, all right, ready, go. And so my boy, I feel so bad that this happened this way because he's actually a really good friend of mine now. He starts coming at me, and I act like a total bitch. Like, I, like, pull my arms in close. I, like, make sudden movements like I'm scared, and I start, like, backing up. And he lunges at me, and I'm like,
Got him.
got you. And, like, he lunges at me. I, like, my back goes from this to this, and I slap his hands down, pull him into me. Everyone starts screaming because they realize what just happened. And, like, within 15 seconds, I went from choking this dude to flipping him over and putting him in an arm bar. And, like, the fight was over in, like, 15, 20 seconds.
Yeah.
And God, I was so fucking mad that I was like, we roughed each other up
Yeah.
a good bit, and I obviously ended up winning. But like, that's probably the maddest I've been in a fight. Was like, damn, I'm out here like giving y'all nothing but respect. And like, the guy who I beat, like, we ended up becoming really good friends.
Yeah. Man, if there's anything I could probably say about growing up when it comes to fighting, it's like, it's one of those things where it's like, I wish I indulged it just a tad bit more than I did.
What do you mean?
So, like I said, I don't like fighting. I don't. But living in the world that we live in, you're going to have to fight at some point, right? And it's one of those things where it's like, I really wish I had just indulged in it just a little bit more, because I feel like if you know how to defend yourself, and it's not being cocky. I want that to be come across like clear as
I wouldn't
day.
say cocky as much as it is contradictory.
It's one of those things where it's like it helps build more confidence when you're a younger kid. Because now, like,
That's what you got brothers for. I'm sure they beat the shit out of you.
yeah, no, that's for damn
My
sure.
brothers beat the shit out of me.
But it's one of those things where it's like in my mind, I wish I had at least like followed a certain like class, like boxing or something like that. Because
You wish you had like practiced.
yeah, practice
Okay.
more.
Yeah, I feel
Because like in high school and when you're a kid, practice doesn't come into mind. It's straight like survival mode.
Yeah, you don't know what you're doing. You're
Yeah,
just throwing
no one
hands and
knows-
hoping for the best.
No one knows what you're doing unless like your parents showed, which my dad made sure we knew how to throw a proper punch.
My dad taught me after I got my ass kicked.
My dad made sure because and it was one of those things like him being a black father, he knew us living in the South was going to be an issue.
It was going to come up with its own. It was
It's-
going to come with its own set of problems.
Exactly. So he made sure we knew how to defend ourselves. And he damn sure made sure that we were going to look after each other.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wish I had at a younger age, I wish I had followed a like
Wish you had taken like some sort of
Yeah.
like discipline.
yeah, like a discipline just to make sure like I had that confidence if something happened now. Which now granted, if something happened nowadays and it was one of those situations to where like I'm being attacked or you're being attacked, and it's one of those moments where you realize either you need to get the fuck in or get the fuck out kind of scenarios. Now that I'm an adult, I'm probably just gonna pull the 9 and pop you a couple of times. Because at that point, especially going into the military, a threat is a threat and you deal with a threat. And nowadays, the most efficient way of dealing with a threat, you drop them.
From what I've actually heard the opposite.
Well, a lot of the times people tell you that if you can run, run.
Yeah, I've
Yes.
It's my understanding that the deadliest fighters in the world know what they're capable of.
That, yeah.
And they also know, like, hey, this person could have a gun, they could have a knife. The safest and best thing to do
is to run.
is to, if you can,
That's what I'm
always run.
saying. If you're, because in
Remove
high school,
yourself.
what I'm talking about in high school, 9 times out of 10, or in just like school period when you're growing up, you can't remove yourself.
True.
So I'm talking about the scenarios where you cannot remove yourself.
Okay, yeah. I
If
see what you mean.
I have, but that's what I'm saying. Like for me, I'd rather talk you down rather than get into a conflict, because now I'm gonna have to figure out how to remove myself from this conflict because you want to be stupid. Because it's like I said, it's the decisions to get the fuck in or get the fuck out. If you are able to take in your surroundings and you're like, okay, I can get out of this, get the fuck out. Don't be stupid and risk your life for no fucking reason.
Yeah, self-defense laws are
So-
also extremely strict.
They're pretty clear. But if you're in a situation where you can't run, your back is to the wall, and you have no choice, I have come to terms with myself in life that if I am put in that situation, I am going to drop you.
I mean, you're obligated to at that point.
You're
It's for them.
obligated to, but that's the thing. It's like the closer, or the, I don't know how to put this. The faster you gain the confidence to understand that life is a dangerous game and it may be kosher now, but if you find yourself in a situation where you have to defend yourself or defend a loved one, can you do it?
Yeah.
And that's been something that's always been in the back of my mind that I've always been afraid of. Like, will I be able to defend my family or like my significant other or someone who is with me, period, or the people around me if the time came to where our backs were to the wall and someone had to step up, you know?
Hopefully you'll never find out.
Hopefully, for the love of God, I hope I never get put in that situation. I hope no one gets put in that situation, but life is life.
Anyway, this is drifting a bit too far.
Yeah,
Sorry
but
from the original point.
I did have a story when you were talking about the younger kid.
Yeah.
When I was
Yeah, when we were that young, my brothers did not have each other's backs like that.
well, for some reason I never understood why, but younger kids are hellions. Like when you get older, you realize that small children are fucking terrible.
Yeah.
Just horrible. Like Nevaeh, when we were going to the same school and everything, and Nevaeh was
Did your sister kick your ass too?
No, but Nevaeh, dog. No, I've never seen Nevaeh fight, but there was recently we got together and Nevaeh hit me with a right hook, and I was like, God damn, dude. I was like, fuck, that hurt.
Like a proper right hook?
Like we were playing around and she